Welcome back to Hoops Lounge. I'm Montreal Mark.
Sporting Phil. We're here at the beautiful Big O in Montreal at...
Well, we're at NBA 3X, and this is our first time live on location.
This is the first time live location, bringing you the NBA across Canada and specifically here in Montreal.
It's beautiful to have the game in town, so we did a few interviews. We'll snap to those in a second, but what are your thoughts so far on NBA 3X?
Well, so far I see a lot of community activity. I see a lot of people. You can see in the background, I don't know if you can hear the sound, people playing some 3-on-3 tournaments. There's some contests, some passing contests and such. Really good time, families coming out, a lot of support. I like it.
It's growth of the game in this province, this city, and this country. It's a beautiful thing. But we're going to start off with 3 interviews we've got. We've got Pascal Jobin of Basketball Quebec. We've got Jonathan Chang of the NBA, and we've also got Milwaukee Buck and native of Haiti and Montreal, Samuel Dalembert. Let's start with the 3 interviews. Okay, I'm here with Pascal Jobin. What are your thoughts of the growth of basketball in Quebec and in Montreal as a whole?
I think it's slowly growing as far as the media and the exterior with TVA Sport, which I was the analyst this season in French, so we have the NBA in French. I think the media is jumping a bit on it now. The scene has always been there. We used to have NBA Hoop It Up with almost 500 teams in the past, so it's not like the job hasn't been done. It's just a question of bringing the media now, getting involved. So at the federation, with Daniel Grimard, our general manager, he asked me to put some 3-on-3 together. We talked to NBA, we talked to Basketball Canada, which brought the feedback because one of the category, the winner here in Montreal, gets a free trip to New York for the FIBA World Championship. So I thought to bring everybody together. We have Basketball Canada here, me with the federation, and the NBA 3X, which brought all the nice. I know the NBA will bring the publicity and the look, so I think it's exciting. You know what I mean? So, but I think the scene is there. We have, I was involved with the Matrix. We have the Cavs at the federation. We just started the league, which is an elite league with 5 teams. That's going to be growing. We have the best player in Montreal. Some of the ex-professional overseas are playing, so it's growing. But from the media standpoint, it's like, oh, it's new, but it's not new. But yeah, it is for the media.
Like I've been saying for quite a while, we have a reputation as a hockey town, but if you walk around the streets or you go on Twitter at night, everyone's wearing jerseys, everyone's talking about basketball. It's here, it's growing in the community.
We know that people in Quebec are big fans of sports, more on an event than on a regular basis. So you're right, with the Canadians, this is a religion. But I think there's place for soccer. I want to see more people, not just when it's Beckham in town, they should be following l'Impact. We have people that's football for the first game. They should keep up for the season, We have to support all our professional teams, all the sports. I think the activity, the sports is good for the kids. It's good for our society. But we cannot just follow one particular team. But mostly the media is afraid to talk about other stuff than hockey, because hockey pays the bill. But I think people want to hear other, there's other sports who, you got a guy like Sam, when he signed his second deal, his contract is bigger than any of the Montreal Canadiens ever signed in the history of hockey. He signed for $6 million for 6 years. And in Philadelphia, of course NBA is different than hockey, but that's something that now he's here, but media is involved, because I think the media this year are being involved more.
I think it's slowly changing because it announced this week with Chris Joseph signing with the Celtics. It actually got a bit of media buzz around the city. I think it's slowly changing because he grew up in Côte-des-Neiges. I think there's more of a grassroots effort to say, guess what, we do have basketball in this city and in this province.
We do have basketball. We do have ballers. We have, you say Chris Joseph, but, Ricky Volsi's being playing pro overseas. We have a lot of guys here and women. The national women's team just qualified for the Olympics. And there's a girl from Dawson, I forget her name, and I feel bad about it, but she's going there. Allison, she played for Dawson. She plays overseas now, and she's one of the top, players for Canada. And she's a local girl, you know what I mean? She played for Trevor Williams at Dawson, AAA. Then she went to NCAA in the States, and she's a pro overseas. So yeah, you're right. I think basketball is growing. There's a lot of tournaments. There's a lot of events. There's a lot of camps. I think there's a lot more players in the last 5 or 6 years than there was maybe 20 years ago. So it's there. We just want people to talk about it a little bit more, and then like you said, Chris Joseph, Sammy D, Joel Anthony is the NBA World Champion.
Yeah.
We need to bring him. I mean, he was a starter all last year, part of this season. He didn't play in the final, but he's this is a guy that went undrafted. You know what I mean? That's impressive.
Well, I want to thank you very much for your time, and thanks for being on Hoops Lounge.
No problem, my pleasure, and good life to Hoops Lounge.
Okay, thanks, man. Welcome back to Hoops Lounge. I'm here with Jonathan Chang of the NBA. Bienvenue au Quebec.
Thank you very much.
We're here at NBA 3X here at Olympic Stadium in beautiful Montreal. Tell me a bit about 3X.
Well, NBA 3X is the NBA's new global platform for 3-on-3 basketball. It's taking place in Spain, Mexico, around the world. And we're visiting 6 cities this summer. This is our first stop. Very happy with how the event's gone. We're also visiting Markham, which is outside of Toronto, Vancouver, Calgary, Toronto, and Halifax. So this is the first stop, and really excited about it.
Why did you decide to come to Montreal?
Well, we worked very closely with Basketball Quebec. This is a weekend that they suggested. We thought we'd have a great venue here at the Olympic Stadium. And we do like to work closely with the provinces and take their recommendations on what will work in their region.
How long has NBA 3X been around?
Well, NBA 3X is the first year. As far as grassroots events with the NBA and specifically with 3-on-3, we've been doing things for 15 years in Canada. So there's a pretty rich history of 3-on-3 play in Canada.
What do you think about the growth of basketball in general in Canada?
Well, I think, you know, as evidenced by the players we've had here, it's growing great. I mean, it's definitely not gender specific. It's something you can play by yourself or with friends. And now at the highest levels, you have 6 NBA players that are Canadian. That's
Chris Joseph.
Yeah, and then with Chris Joseph, you have three rookies this year. Chris Joseph going to the Celtics, Robert Sacre going to the Lakers, 2 storied franchises, and then Nicholson going 19 to the Magic. And then all these up-and-comers that we hear about, I think the future is very bright.
And one of the players that you brought in yesterday was Samuel Dalembert. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Well, Samuel Dalembert, you know, he got his start here, and he has a real love for Montreal. The fact that he's bilingual helps. He did media with TVA, TSN Radio, CBC, and he asked if there's more things he can do in his home province because he really loves being here and giving back.
One last question. Do you think there'll ever be an NBA team in Montreal?
Those decisions are made far above my head. Let's worry about some exhibition games first and see what happens.
Thank you very much, Jonathan. Appreciate the time.
All right.
Can I get a quick question?
Yeah.
I'm with Samuel Dalembert of the Houston Rockets. What are your thoughts of the NBA?
Milwaukee Bucks.
Milwaukee Bucks. Milwaukee Bucks.
Rockets is over.
Milwaukee. I'm horrible.
No problem.
Do you think the NBA will ever end up in Montreal?
You know what? When they took Vancouver out, and I thought like Montreal would be the most suitable place for another NBA team. We don't know, but I think if they're willing to work with the NBA, and because a lot of players are kind of skeptical of coming to Canada because of taxes, you know, when they start working together a little bit, I think NBA might consider to maybe put another team in Montreal because the reality of it, Canada is bigger than the United States, and there's a lot of opportunities. The city love that, and there's nothing like this here in Montreal, and I think it will be very strong, a big success here.
I really appreciate it, man.
Thank you, man.
Thanks, man. Good luck. Good luck. I got to say before we get going on free agency, congratulations to King James. Belatedly, I'm not a huge fan, but you know what? He picked it up. He got through cramps. He had a great NBA playoffs, NBA finals.
Yeah, exactly. We're seeing actually some Miami Heat photos and some posters over there. So it's the NBA showing homage to the champions. Obviously, them picking up some interesting pieces in free agency. So on a minor note, Ray Allen going to the Miami Heat. I mean, it's not so much of a minor note, but compared to our Canadian content, I feel it is.
Well, I mean, some people are calling him a traitor. I think he just wants to get another ring. Good for him. You know, he's going where the money is, in a way. Actually, no, Boston offered him more money. But speaking of money, Steve Nash went to the Lakers and took less money than was offered by our hometown Toronto Raptors.
Yeah, exactly. Toronto Raptors offering a 3-year, $36 million contract, so he ends up, which averages out to about $12 million a year. He's getting about 6-7 with the Lakers because he got a bit of a sign and trade that way. Kind of interesting again with the Ray Allen going to a contender, obviously, but also going to a rival. So Ray Allen going from Boston to Miami, and then Steve Nash going from Phoenix to LA. For any of those who've been watching basketball for more than a year, realize that Phoenix and LA, there's no love lost between those cities.
No, I mean, my initial reaction to the Nash thing is, well, Kobe and Nash sounds like a bad buddy cop movie. My thing is, you know, we talk a lot about chemistry here at Hoops Lounge, and Kobe needs the ball. He needs to have the ball in his hands. Steve Nash, he also needs to have the ball in his hands. He probes, he digs into the defense. How do you share one ball between two guys?
Well, I mean, that's an interesting point, and that's why Steve Nash actually gave Kobe Bryant a call before he agreed to this. He actually said, hey, Kobe, you're going to realize if this is going to work, I'm the primary ball handler. I'll get you your touches. I'll get you open. But we're going to involve Pau. We're going to involve Bynum. I see big years for them, by the way. But you know what? He had to get the approval of Kobe. This is Kobe's team, and understand that Kobe will fit within the system. I think Kobe at this age understands he wants the ring. He wants a 6. He wants that Michael Jordan 6 ring. And he's going to play ball. It's the Big 4 in LA.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of interesting aspects of this. Like number 13 is retired by the Lakers, Will Chamberlain's number. So I have a feeling Nash is going to be wearing number 7, which is the number he wore in the Olympics in Sydney in 2000. That's my guess. Also, you know, the practice facilities where the Lakers play is actually Nash Street. Nice. And one last thing is Steve is big into filmmaking. He made a film about Terry Fox. He's got Meat Hawk, his production company, who make a lot of short films, things like that. Being in LA is a good thing right there.
Yeah, well, I mean, being in LA, his ex-wife lives in Phoenix, so obviously close proximity, so he can see his kids. Obviously, there's a lot of studios and work to be had in the film industry. And who's to say, you know what, he became the GM of Basketball Canada. I think once he retires, he's making his way back here, one way or another. I just think this is the best career move for him, as much as, you know, it's some people might see it as selling out, going to a team that already had established stars. But really, it's a fit. The LA Lakers were not going to win the championship without him, and they really needed a point guard. They also need a 3, but I think he can revitalize Ron Artest or Metta World Peace's career, and all the others. I think we're going to see at least 2 All-Stars, at least from this Lakers team, and we're going to see him in the finals. And I'm going to be proud to cheer for Steve Nash going all the way.
Well, I mean, initially I was really upset. Toronto brought out all the stops. They brought out Wayne Gretzky, who was a childhood hero of Steve's. Brought him to New York. They made plea, you know, please come back to Canada. We want you to do what Wayne did in the U.S. We want you to bring basketball to Canada, help it grow here in our own country. But in the end, like we were saying, family won out. He wanted to be close to his family, and he's got an opportunity to win in L.A. And so I've been grinding my teeth, but really, Steve, I just want to see you win a ring, and I really hope you do it this year. So I may end up getting a Lakers number 7 or whatever jersey you end up wearing, because we want you to see that you do well. You've been such an ambassador for the game.
Exactly. Well, that's our wrap of the free agency world. We're here, as I said before, at the Big O in beautiful Montreal. Gorgeous day here. A lot of fan participation. If you see in the background, there's some games being held. There's live DJs, music. Yesterday was a lot more of the media fanfare. As we said, Sam Dalembert around. It's a great place to be, and I think Montreal is really putting its mark on the basketball world. And we're going to have lots more to come, including where Quebec viewers can start viewing more Quebec, more NBA and basketball action, because there's a lot at your fingertips, guys, and we're going to let you know.
Yeah, so be sure to check us out. It's hoopslounge.com. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter, Montreal Mark Sporting Phil. We're pretty much everywhere. And yeah, come back soon. We'll have some picks up, some more videos, and some actually we're going to have some guest blogs coming up, because you know what? There's a passion for basketball in Montreal, and everyone wants to be a part of this. So we're here for you. Thanks for listening.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys. Take care.